to Local SEO Today. I'm Roger Murphy.
And I'm John Vong.
We want to welcome our listeners today. John, we're going to talk today about our two business owners, two entrepreneurs, about their staff, their employees, their team members, and how to support them during these times of pandemic. We're at the time of this recording, John, we're a year into this COVID, and it's not going to go away for at least another year. So why don't we talk about that in terms of employees and how to support them during this time?
It's very difficult, right? Like as your employees, they are used to either seeing others. They might be working from home today. They might not have that social environment and interaction that they loved going into the office, doing that commute, seeing other people in real life. So understanding people's circumstance, understanding what's going on in their lives. It's so important to just be available for them, helping them along the lines of staying on top of their daily activities, making sure they're okay.
Isn't it so true, John? And we both worked corporate many years ago in big companies with hundreds, or if not 1,000 employees. But one of the top reasons when employees are surveyed, they say they're at a business or stay at a company because of their friendships and the social. So to your point of during this pandemic, many big companies have sent their people home. And how does that affect someone mentally? And mental health, being sort of alone. We're not human beings are social animals. So really, how do we deal with that? How do you deal with it as a business owner?
And plus, your industry, your business that you're running, is this going to be permanent now? More employees are going to have to work from home, and maybe it's an advantage in your industry as well. You might not need to have an office so big. You have to realign yourself, figure out like operationally, where do you want to take your business? And there's a lot of opportunities as well as changes, shifts, pivots in your business. So understand that, and how does your employees, take that on, right? Are they okay with working from home? Is this going to be a good fit for them or not, right? And support them along the line. So the first thing I want to talk about is show appreciation for what's going on and how hard they've worked over the many months and years during this pandemic.
And just as you say, because when the more people spend time alone or remote, let's call it, for some it's okay, but for others, they just need to feel that they're valued. So that idea of John showing appreciation to say, we know times are tough. We know that this situation is not perfect, but we really, or I as your boss or the owner of the company, I appreciate the work you do.
Yeah, it's always under gratitude, right? Understanding like their circumstance, their sacrifice, their situation. Because a lot of people might have children at home, and now they're not only being the breadwinner, at work, but also they have to tend for, teach the kids while at home. So have a good understanding in terms of like perspectives, where people are sitting, where they reside in the whole life stage. Because if you're young and single, you can't go and socialize anymore. And that's one aspect that people may love.
If you're, how about having a young family, John?
Young family, like myself, situation, I can understand what a lot of people are going through at this stage of my life, right? But a lot of people don't have that perspective. If you're single or if you're much more mature, you don't really see what is going on and how that person is impacted.
Yeah. And number two, really, talk about showing appreciation. Number two is, we refer to it as talking to employees, but really it's just communication, isn't it, John? Communicating, talking and listening to your staff. They just need to talk sometimes to feel that they're being heard and that they'll feel better about, they won't feel so remote or so alone, during these pandemics and being only connected by computers.
Yeah, being isolated is a big thing, right? Mental health is a big thing.
Yep.
And a lot of people have to understand that this is the first time may ever happen to you in your lifetime, right?
Mhm.
And to realize that people are suffering, people are lonely, people are doing this and they've never experienced it ever. You cannot plan for something like this,
No.
right? So what impact does it have? And maybe it's just opening the streams of communication,
Yep.
talking to people.
That's it.
And we're very transparent at this company. We try to open it up so that anyone can access and communicate with anyone else,
Yep.
and make sure that we all support each other, uplift each other, understand perspectives, and gravitate towards positivity, right? And uplift everyone. So understanding all these things and traits, how do you instill it in your organization, in your business? It's
Yep.
so powerful if you have the ability to open it up to all your employees.
And talk, as I say, this just even talking to them, and there's a word we haven't used today, but it is being empathetic. We're all in this together, but just showing empathy to your staff members that have the young families or that are alone. I know situations. I've got, my kids are older now, and they've got friends that are in their 20s and 30s. But their friends that live alone in a condo and feel extremely cut off from the outside world, except for their work. It takes a toll on them. So as a business owner or as a supervisor or being the boss, just being empathetic towards everyone's situation. Everyone's got a different journey that they're on. So
And understanding that you might have to be a little bit more lenient or flexible
yeah,
based on their circumstance as
sure.
well, because they might have young children. They
Mhm.
might have other issues or problems that they have to encounter, and you just have to be understanding about the situation, right?
That's
And
it.
if you're really there to support them, you'll want them to be with you for the long term. So it also builds a lot more comfort in their end, your employees, to really be assured that you're taking care of them.
Yep. And then the number three topic or suggestion is really asking for suggestions, whether it's the virtual suggestion box, but really, if you just communicate and ask them, what could we do? Obviously, money is a factor in everything, and not necessarily there's a budget for everything. But what suggestions do the staff have? They feel empowered if you ask them. They feel they're being heard and that they're contributing. And everyone wants to contribute. That's where they get that satisfaction of work. So, asking for suggestions.
And it's just giving them a voice, right?
Mm,
Letting them know that it's they're heard.
yeah,
And the more you're willing to understand there's people out there that need help, or they're afraid, so maybe make it anonymous as well, right? Because nobody wants to be known as that person.
yeah.
So make sure that you don't, you know, pinpoint one particular person if it's a positive or negative feedback or input.
Mhm.
Make it so that everyone can share their opinion and no one's, you know, jeopardized, right? Nothing's biased. Make sure that it's open communication,
Mhm.
and share the insights and share the stories. I would even say, like, ask your employee for suggestions, but also share what other people are going through, and hopefully everyone can help one
Yep.
another,
And
provide suggestions amongst each other as well.
with this world we're in with this COVID thing, John, this next suggestion about giving employees new responsibilities. The truth is you here we're a local SEO search, and so many companies have had to pivot. They've had to adjust the way they do business because of this pandemic. So the idea of if things have shifted a little bit, maybe it is offering your staff some more additional responsibilities. It might just energize them that they're doing something different, and it's good for their mental health too.
Yeah, change it up. Ask them what would they like.
Mm,
How do you like performing in this situation? What would you like more of?
yeah.
What don't you like, right? It's the same thing we do in sales. We ask the questions to the business owners. What is your need? And
Mhm.
we try to fill it. We try to figure out if there's gaps and opportunities, and we want to provide value. So as a business owner, it's the same way thing for your staff, right? find out what's wrong and see if you can help.
Mhm. This next one, number five tip is team building. And I know, again, here we are in COVID and there's not really, we can't get together physically. That's going to change over time. But John, we even tried a Zoom team building exercise this year.
Yeah, like you just have to pivot, right? You know, there's going to be a lot of younger people in your team or older, but they love that social coffee, lunch
Mhm.
break. They love hanging out with people. And right now, you just can't. Like, you're restricted to even leave to visit your friends and family, let alone your colleagues, right? Or going to the office. So,
Mhm.
understanding the circumstances, understanding what people have to go through, and seeing if there's different things online or digitally where you can have fun as well, right? So it's not just all work and no fun. You need to make sure that you embody some sort of social environment. And we try to, even before pre-pandemic, we would always try to get meetups together, right? Get other people to do a
Mhm.
movie night or a social night, or having social gatherings or whatnot. That's the whole part of culture, right? People want to spend time with people they enjoy spending time with.
And
Um,
this particular topic, John, maybe it ties in with, asking for suggestions. Maybe the team members can bring forward some suggestions to say, hey, this might be an idea where we could do something, whether it's, fun and games on Zoom or whatever it is. Yeah, ask for suggestions.
yeah, it doesn't have to always be work related, like
Mm.
training or anything to do with work. It could be just
Yeah.
video games online. If people like playing whatever online cards or board games or reading night or whatever social thing that other people likes doing, like their
Yep.
hobbies, their interests, right? Find out if there's people that are like-minded with different hobbies and interests, and just get them to get together and form new friendships and communities within your organization. Um, but it's all about just making sure that it's out there.
Yep.
If you're the leader, people are going to follow you. So if you push it out there and let others know that these are ways to still have the social without actually being in person, maybe people are willing to take that up.
There you go. Well, John, I think we covered off some very solid tips and some advice for business owners and entrepreneurs to how to support their employees during this pandemic. Any other thoughts on it? I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, I think it's good. For me, it's all about like helping, being there for them, being open, transparent, and making sure that everyone's mind, body, soul is all in a good place,
There you go.
right? Because it's tough times right now.
Yep. Well, thank you, John. And I want to thank all of our listeners today at Local SEO. We'll see you again, and we'll have more great topics to cover on another day.
Thank you, Roger.
Thanks, everyone.